Well, if you notice, we forgot our sign today, but I'm pretty sure this is Accordion Cool, and I'm, oh yeah, Coach Dave. Now, we're playing today with a little bit of a disclaimer. This brand new accordion has been doing some funny things, so I think between Austin and I, we got it so that at least we'll get through this show, but let's just keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, got a little theme today. Early in the season, I did a show and with the songs with the word love in them. And there were so many, I said, oh, I got enough for a second show. So today is the quote-unquote second show of songs with the word love. And of course, that first song from 1933, Let's Fall in Love. Fellas, just, that's not a real good pickup line. But yeah, I mean, try it. You never know what's going to happen. And it came from a film that had the same name. Let's fall in love. Why not? We got nothing else to do. So that was the first tune. This next tune, I've got to push all the buttons here and make sure that I don't hit the wrong one at the right time. Of course, that would never happen. All right. This is called, song is called And I Love You So, written by a fellow named Don McLean. Don McLean. He was kind of a country artist, and he wrote this song. The fellow named Perry Como. Perry Como had the real big hit on this song. I'm not sure what the year was, but I would say 50s, 60s, somewhere around there, called And I Love You So. And I Love You So. Yes, yes. All right, well, this next tune, this also came from a show. I'm not exactly sure when, 1940, I think it was, somewhere around there. It's called Taking a Chance on Love. Now, I know, like, I think the first song and this song and maybe one or two others, I know Ella Fitzgerald had recordings and hits, of course, on them. So let's take a little chance on love. Let's see what happens. Well, the next couple of tunes were recorded by, let me see, some fellow in Memphis, Tennessee, big house. Oh yeah, his name was Elvis. That's right, Elvis. Now we've been there to Graceland, that area, several times. It's always nice around Christmas times. They have these blue lights, which really make it look nice. So we were there, one of the times we were there, and of course the Sun Music Studio, a recording studio, is where Elvis did all his recording, and a fellow named Johnny Cash recorded there too. So we decided we got nothing to do this particular day. Well, let's go over and take a little tour, and they have like a shuttle service. So this fellow picks us up, we go over, we walk in, and there's an elderly gentleman sitting there having a cup of coffee. And the fellow that brought us there says, "Do you know who this is?" And I says, "I'm sorry, no." And he says, "It's DJ Fontana." Now the name kind of rang a bell, but I couldn't put it together. DJ Fontana was Elvis's drummer for something like 14 years. And like I said, he was an older gentleman, and he looked like he could go out and do a gig in 5 minutes if you want him to. I believe he did pass away a couple of years ago, so I was chatting with him, and I said to him, "I bet you got a lot of stories." And he says, "Oh, yeah." However, he didn't offer to tell me any of the stories. But anyway, so that's our Elvis story for the day. Oh, by the way, fellas, all right, this is just for the fellas. The ladies, go do some knitting or something. Like I said, it's a couple of Elvis songs. All right. So when I play these songs, you take her hand in yours and you look deep into her eyes, and maybe later on she'll think you look like Elvis. Never mind. I don't think it's going to work. So this first one is from 1960, from a movie called Blue Hawaii. Can't Help Falling in Love with You. So let's see what happens. Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Well, this next Elvis tune, let me push the right buttons here, which should be a novelty. It's probably the one that he is most known for, probably his biggest song ever. It actually came from a folk song, a little folk song. And the folk song, whose name has just escaped me, Well, that's all right. And the name of the song I'm going to play has just escaped me, too. Oh, Love Me Tender. That Love Me Tender. And the little folk song is called Aura Lee. How do I know that? Well, in the accordion method books, the very first book, because it's a simple little tune, one of the songs is Aura Lee. And back in my teaching days, of course, the kids, we'd get to that song and they play, oh, Love Me Tender. So, yeah, okay, sure, call it what you want. So, here we go. Aura Lee, Love Me Tender, or something. Let's go. Love Me Tender or Aura Lee. Take your pick. I'm sure you'll probably pick Love Me Tender. It wasn't unusual for artists back in those days to, take simple songs, rewrite the words, and all of a sudden, I believe there was, I'm not sure, it was a country singer, a lady country singer, and I don't remember her name or the songs, but she, released a record, had a big hit on it, took the exact same song, wrote different words and lyrics, released that, and had a second hit at exactly the same melody and everything, just different words. And so they did some sneaky things once in a while back in those days. Well, we're just about towards the end of our time now. And let me get back to my where I want to be here. And our last tune was written, I believe, for the show that I've never heard of, so obviously it went nowhere, but at least we had the tune written by Cole Porter, and it's called, well, it just wraps up this entire love show. What is this thing called love? How many people have said that? That's the name of the tune. What is this thing called love? So let's see. is this foolish thing called love? Well, that's our love show for today. Like I said earlier, we had, after doing the first love show early in the season, we had enough tunes left to do a second love show, but that'll probably be the last love show that we do. So we'll be back and do some other things, see what happens. So, well, again, as usual, I want to thank you all for listening, tuning in, however you get this extravaganza. And, of course, as usual, big thank you to the big guy behind the glass. And as I said, I had the little disclaimer at the beginning, and we spent quite a few minutes trying to get the sound right. And I think nothing happened that had been happening, so I think we're all set to go and just to play out and keep our fingers crossed that we get through the entire show. So, as usual, thank you all for watching. And what is this thing called love?